Hello and welcome back to another video on the artist philosophy. There's a very common saying that good artists copy, great artists steal. And today we're going to discuss a problem that emerges when we try to implement this saying. So when we lack skill as artists, we often have good ideas, but our execution is what holds us back. And so mimicking other artists or stealing from other artists is a great way to increase our skill, because if we can mimic or replicate the work of someone else, we'll be able to better mimic or replicate the ideas that are inside our own mind. And so in a lot of ways, stealing is a way in which we can increase our capacity to use our artistic tools. But there's a problem that emerges when it comes to trying to pick the artists that we want to steal from, because there's endless creatives out there. And so how do we know which ones we should mimic? In his book, Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, he solves this problem brilliantly and elegantly with the idea of an artist family tree. So the idea of this artist family tree is something that you have to create. And so what you have to do is adopt some artistic parents. Just like having parents you love in real life is ideal, it's important that you only adopt the artists that you're crazy about. And so what you're going to do is try to list out the artists that you love most, and then adopt an artist or two artists as your artistic parents, and then you'll want to study as much as you can about them. Download their Wikipedia page, read it, and discover who were the artists that they were inspired by. And in this way, you can build this artistic lineage in which you are the next successor in. So you become a sort of successor in this long line of great artists that you look up to and admire. When this is done correctly, there's two things I think that can happen, which is people are going to look at your art and they're going to be reminded of the artists that you're sort of inheriting from. They're going to say, oh, you're kind of like the next so-and-so. And that's really nice because it's good to have some aspect of familiarity to your audience so that they can have a lens in which they can understand exactly what you're doing as an artist. The other cool benefit to this is I think if it's taken to its very conclusion, then not only will it help you establish loyal followers in the present, but it sort of engraves your creative legacy into the future. In some sense, you become necessary to understanding that lineage of creation. There's a great quote by Austin Kleon. He says, "Think about your favorite work and your creative heroes. What did they miss? What didn't they make? What could have been made better? If they were still alive, what would they be making today? If all your favorite makers got together and collaborated, what would they make if you were leading the crew?" So adopt your artistic lineage, inherit and imitate the work of those who came before you, and instead of mimicking just one or two artists, use your artistic family tree to emulate many and a long line of creative heroes.